What's up, guys? Listen, it's 7:02. I have a problem. I have a problem that I want to talk about me not being able to get on here precisely at 7 o'clock, right? So it's 7:02. I'm 2 minutes late. Charge it to my head and not my heart, y'all. What's up, everybody? Thank you. Come in. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again for Dear Future Husband this week. So what I am going to do first, y'all, real quick, is I am going to try to see if I can throw my my good old YouTube channel thing on here, right? My link on here, because I need y'all to help me out, and I need y'all to go on there and subscribe, okay? Hey, Viola, how you doing? Hey, everybody else. Bridget, Levels Lifestyle. Hey, the Fearless Female Forum. Hey, I like that. NHR Productions. Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being on. I was just talking about how I can't get my life together and be on here precisely at 7 o'clock. And I'm always a minute or two late. And so today I was 2 minutes late. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to get my life together. So I can't throw for whatever reason, I'm trying to throw my, hey, Keisha, I'm trying to throw my link for my YouTube on here so that y'all can go and help your girl out and subscribe to my channel, right? Because I need y'all to come through for your girl. And I can't do it. I'm trying to do it on my computer, and it's not showing up for whatever reason. So, y'all, it's Reality TV. Look it up on YouTube. If somebody else can find it and throw the link on here for me, I would appreciate it. But if not, Reality TV. All right. So, hey, Joseph. So, let's get started, right? So today's episode is about cuddling. We're going to talk about cuddling, affection, love language, all of that. Before we do, hey, Kim, hey, Joseph, thank you for tuning in. Before we do, why don't y'all drop where y'all are tuning in from? I like to do this at the beginning of every show because I just want to see where my people are coming from, right? We get people from all over. So just want to kind of see where y'all are coming from. Drop the link. Drop where you're tuning in from, what city you're tuning in from, and that'll work for me. So today we're talking about, like I said, cuddling, affection, love language. Do y'all know y'all's love language? Have you did the 5 love language test? Have you taken that quiz? If you haven't, please do so. It speaks wonders to what you prefer, right? How you accept love, how you accept affection, right? It speaks wonders. So we got Colleen, we got San Antonio. So y'all drop on top of where you're tuning in from, drop what your love language is. Because I want to know where y'all are at. People are all over the map, right? And so drop what your love language is. Now, this is what I'm going to say, y'all, because my little guest I don't think he's on here yet. And he is going to, hey, Michelle, he's going to come on here with me and we're going to get into it about all of that. Because people have a problem with cuddling and I don't understand this problem with cuddling. Like, how do you have a problem with this? Right? So we are going to, let me find him and tell him to jump on. I don't know why he ain't on here. Tell him to jump on real quick. Here I am thinking I'm late. And he ain't even on here yet. D Jones, if you here, go on and hit that little plus sign button for me. So my YouTube, spell my YouTube. It's Briality. So it's BRIALITY all one word. BRIALITY. Thank you, Viola. I appreciate your services. Y'all click on that link and subscribe for me, please, please, please. And then we'll go from there. So y'all, I don't know where he at. I don't know what's going. Thank you, Viola. I appreciate you. I don't know where my little guest is at. He is not on here today. Not on here right now. You know, and I sent him a DM, so hopefully he will be jumping on soon. In other news, y'all, so we got Viola saying that her love language is acts of service. Okay. So then from what I understand, that means that you like for people to show you, so you receive your affection through like doing things for you, washing dishes, taking you out of the equation, helping you out. Is that correct, Viola? Hey, Steph. Is that correct? Like, is that what acts of, anybody else who has acts of service as a love language? Let me know if that's kind of along the lines of what, yeah, do the things, do all the things. Right. Do the things for you. Who else has done a love language test and knows what their love language is? I want to say mine's is words of affirmation, quality time, and I want to say it's acts of service. So I recently retook it. Somebody told me to retake it because it changes as you get older and as your needs evolve, right? So I took it and it was quality time, physical touch, and I think words of affirmation. I think that's what the new ones are. So if y'all have quality times and acts of service, yep. That QT is big, y'all. For me as a woman, so I'm listen, there's no bones about it. I'm 42 years old, right? So I am as I get older, quality time is huge for me. It's major. And so you have got to make time for me, to spend time with me, to do things with me, right? To come over and chill, to watch TV. You have got to make that time. And so without that, this ain't gonna work. I can tell you that right now. Like, you and I ain't gonna make it that far. Especially if you're not making that time and that effort to make that time for me, right? And I truly believe that none of us are that busy, right? Listen, I'm a business owner. So I'm a business owner. I have a 8-year-old child. So I got a lot on my plate, right? And I don't think it's too much to ask to spend some time. And I'm not saying every day, but just sometimes, right? Maybe once every week works on the low end. I like 2-3 times a week, but once a week will work, right? For me, for my quality time. So Levels Lifestyle Entertainment says he's from San Antonio. Hey, San Antonio. And physical touch and quality time. That physical touch is everything. So what if he's a trucker? Then I can understand that. If he's a trucker, then I respect the hustle, right? I don't ever knock anybody for the hustle because I'm out here hustling too. So I understand it and I respect it. And if he's a long distance trucker, I think that's what they call it, right? And he's gone a week at a time or so, then I would be able to pivot and meet that man where he's at, right? And so when you come home, sir, when you come home, I'm gonna need some of that time, right? I'm gonna need you to set the time apart and make time for me to come spend time with me and go to a movie, watch Netflix, something, right? It doesn't have to be like razzle dazzle every time, but it has to be something for me, right? So back to Levels Lifestyle Entertainment, he says physical touch and quality time. So physical touch, y'all, for y'all that have physical touch as a love language, what are we talking? Are we talking kissing, hugging, cuddling, which is actually the theme of today's show. So is that what we're talking? Holding hands? Do you always have to be like cuddled up? How do you feel about that physical touch? Natural Diva says acts of service and quality time. Okay, I like that. Toyota says, right, if it's easy to include the person on your schedule. It takes effort to include the person on your schedule, right? Like, it takes a lot of effort. And what I'm finding out here in these old murky dating streets is that people don't want to put forth the effort. People do not want to put forth the effort to make the time in your schedule. It's one thing for a man to make time in my schedule, in his schedule for me versus, it already being open and it's already, he's just putting me in the schedule. Does that make sense? So it's one thing for a man to be like, I want to spend time with you, so I'm going to make this happen. And another thing for a man to be like, I don't have nothing else to do today. Just come on over, right? I appreciate it more when you make the effort of making time for me. Okay. One Man and a Grill. Oh, One Man and a Grill. I like that. Says OTR, which is on the road, over the road, I'm assuming long distance, and you're an owner operator. So that comes with a lot because not only are you a long distance trucker, but then you own your own rig, right? You own your own truck. So you have to book these loads and do all of this just to, just to make it shake, right? I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that effort and that hustle. So yeah, no, somebody like that, I would absolutely understand the hustle, like I said earlier, and that would not be a bad thing, for me. So I think our guest is here. Hold on. He is. Let's bring on Daniel. Oh, well, maybe I didn't do it, y'all. Hold on. Let me get my life together every week.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Daniel?
Hey, let me just say real quick. So please have a little grace. It's crazy because I'm a teacher. I got off work,
Mm-hmm.
went to get a fresh haircut, and my phone I took pictures and videos so I have proof, but my phone literally would not connect to service for me to get on here. I'm a very punctual person. I hate being late, but please, I apologize for that.
Oh, you're good. Thank you so much for jumping on, and I like your haircut. You look nice.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it. I try to clean up a little bit, try to do a little
Yes,
something.
sir. Yes, sir. So we were talking about quality time and what that looks like, and making time in your schedule and whatnot. While we were waiting on you, so
Mhm.
let me just real quick. So, one man and the grill says yes, I do, but we will make the time. Thank you. I appreciate that. One man in the grill. And Lifestyle Entertainment says rub my waist while we're watching TV, rub my back every now and then since my job is physical. That's that physical touch that, that's his love language. And I can understand that. I can get, rub your waist. I like that, especially when y'all are driving. Like that's my, what I'm saying? That's my go-to move, Definitely hit y'all up while y'all driving. But that's a whole nother thing. So, Daniel, I'm so glad you could make it on. Let me do the niceties first before we go on, okay?
Mhm.
So if you've never watched my show before, I like to go on and get your stats, sir. I like to get your stats before we move on to the better part of the show, right? And
Mhm.
so please tell everybody where you're from.
Oh, my bad. San Antonio, Texas, home of the Spurs. Race for Sace. That's us.
Okay. And then where is that also where you live? Where you're from is where you live?
Yes, I currently reside in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay. And how old are you, sir?
Damn, pretty nice. Go. I'm 37. I'm a proud
37.
proud 37. You know what I'm saying? Black don't crack, as they say. So yeah,
That's right. You look good for 37, sir.
appreciate you.
Okay. And then what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Gemini. They say me crazy, but I personally don't believe in the whole zodiac hype. I believe it's like a
Me
psychological
either.
thing. But
Me either.
I am a Gemini. So yeah.
Okay. And then what do you do? I think you mentioned it earlier, but just tell the people again what you do.
Yeah, I'm a teacher. I teach sixth grade math.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
And are you single?
Yeah, that is my status. We talked about this too. Yeah, I'm like Khadijah and them. I'm living single. So
Okay. Okay. And then are you actively dating?
am I actively dating? No. No.
No. Okay, so do
Mm-mm.
you have somebody or you're just not looking?
Am I single? Actively dating? Have somebody? No, I'm just not. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm just.
That's
You know
what
what
it
I'm saying?
is.
I'm
Okay.
one of them. I'm one of them people like it comes like
Yeah.
it comes. So
Yeah, it comes when it comes. No, I can
yeah,
appreciate that. Okay. Okay, but if somebody came along, you would be open to it if y'all vibed and connected.
100%. Yeah, I'm in love
Okay.
with the idea of being in love, so I'm all for that for sure.
Oh, I like to hear that because I love love too. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's a good thing. Okay. So Daniel, let's get into the topic of today's
Yeah, for
discussion,
sure.
which is cuddling. Cuddling, affection, love language, all that good stuff. Okay.
Hmm.
So where do you stand on the whole issue of that physical touch, that cuddling and all of that? Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I believe for me personally, I think cuddling is something big. It's another act of affection. For me personally, I have to have it. There's no way I
Yeah.
could be in a relationship and not have affection as one of the, things that we, give and reciprocate to one another. Um, in my experience of dating in life, what I'm saying, and even in my previous marriage, I was married before, in my marriage, like she was not
Okay.
affectionate at all.
Okay.
And I think I kind of learned a lot about myself in that, part of my life. But yeah, affection, cuddling, and like all that type of stuff. I need somebody. I need you to touch me. You know what I'm saying? I need you to also be willing to receive my touch as well.
I like that. So let me ask you, let's go back to that previous marriage. Did you know that you were so big on affection prior to marrying her?
Yeah, I always knew that of myself.
Okay.
I think where I messed up, because I didn't. You mentioned love languages. I didn't really do the research and learn a lot about love languages until my divorce, and
Okay.
so I think I was victim of making the mistake that most people make. I was trying to love her the way that I wanted to receive love instead of trying
Mm,
to learn her love language and give her what worked best for her. And so in making that mistake, trying to always be affectionate with her, and she read me by her coach bag was something that we were kind of clashing with. And so um, everybody, moves how they move. They receive things differently. But for me,
yeah.
like, I knew that I was very affectionate prior to marrying her, but I didn't necessarily realize how much of a, um, I guess a lack, or how much of a I needed it to be, something
Mm.
that I received in order to be like fulfilled.
Listen, I know I'm really big on affection. I'm a very affectionate person when I'm in a relationship with somebody. And I know that, it would be super hard for me to be with somebody who did not want to, one, receive my affection, and then to give it back. Because not only do I love giving it, I have to, like you mentioned earlier, right? I
Mm-hmm.
have to also be on the receiving end of it. And I think it is so big. I don't Listen, there's people out there that I've read about that don't do affection too well. And I don't know how that works out for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I know that it's a major, major thing in my relationship. And there's no way that we'll make it without affection being present, you know?
Right. Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
what kind of so let's get into what kind of affection, like what do you how do you like to receive affection? Receive it.
Receiving it, yeah, yeah. So yeah, um, I'm a big person on just like the small things mean more, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense. So like I'm a big, hold hands type person.
Yeah.
The random hugs and kisses throughout the day. Like
Yeah.
I'm real big on like I would never, even in the midst of like a moment of discord or turmoil, I would never leave, um, or make sure I'm always gonna leave and greet my mate with a hug and a kiss, because you never
Okay.
know, you might leave that person, that could be something that happens, God forbid. And then I think just the moment of being away from each other, that time to miss each other when you get in their presence, you want to embrace them as well. So I'm big on PDA,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, holding hands, random hugs and kisses, like. But I also think that one of the most, for me anyway, one of the most, I guess, one of the greatest forms of intimacy would just be like just cuddling, like that moment of just like holding each other, really Netflix and chilling, not how what they,
Yeah.
abbreviated it to today, but just like
Yeah.
really watching a movie,
Yes.
or what I'm saying, stuff like that, like those old school type of things, eating some
Yeah.
popcorn, some Twizzlers, what I'm saying, stuff like that, like that to me goes a long way, because those to me those are those moments that you create that you never forget.
Right.
That they mean more than like the physical act of like receiving a gift or something of the sort for me. So I just like those type of things for me.
And that's what I posted today. I posted today, when posting about the show today, I posted a meme that says it isn't just about sex, right?
Right.
Sometimes the purest and most meaningful form of affection is when you're just sitting there talking to each other, when you're
Mm-hmm.
just sitting there, watching a movie, and those inside jokes, like all of that to me makes up the bigger picture of affection for me, right? I'm a movie person. I love watching movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yep.
means everything to be able to watch a movie with a guy I'm dating, and we're just cuddled up on the couch or in the bed watching the movie. And listen, I I ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, when the movie comes on, I can't hear. Like I can't hear what so I'm the one that's like, what they say? I can never hear, Daniel. And
Mm-hmm.
that might be a flaw of mine, okay? But it is
Yeah.
what it is, and somebody has to love me for it. You
Right.
understand
I
what
hear
I'm
you.
saying? but I can't ever hear. So it means everything for me for us to like have that conversation during movies. And I know there's people that hate that. They hate talking during movies. But it means a lot to me, you know?
Yeah, I think. Oh my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that I think it's different too for guys. I think a lot of times society has kind of almost like made it seem or painted this picture for guys that they can't just cuddle. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times guys may just want to be cuddled. The prime example I always use, if a woman wants sex from her man and he's like, baby, let's just chill and cuddle. If he ever said that, like it's not gonna go well. Like she's gonna automatically have these thoughts, what, why he didn't want to give me none. And on the reverse side, if the man is trying to make that move on a woman and she's like, baby, let's just, watch this movie. You know what I'm saying? He almost just gotta be like, all right, cool, lay there, you know what I'm saying, rocked up, whatever, and just watch the movie. But it's never received that same way on the other end. I've always thought to that. I've even some of my homeboys, I've challenged them like, put a movie on and challenge yourself to watch the whole movie. If it's 2 hours and 12 minutes, watch all the movie before you try to do anything other than that. Can you do it? Most of them be like, I can't, bro. Feel a couple cheeks and it's over with. Like, don't feel cheeks then. You know what I'm saying? Like, just try to watch the whole movie because like that, watching the whole movie really might mean more to your mate than not.
It does to me. So if I, if the man can show me that it's more than just sex, right? That is deeper than that. We can chill. We can chill and it not always have to be physical. That goes a long way with me. That means a lot more to me, right? Yeah. Because now you're showing me that that's not all that it's about, right? That's not all that this is based off of, right? And so for me, that's more of an emotional connection. And then of course, I mean, it benefits, essentially, right? Because now you're like, oh my God, like he doesn't just want sex from me, right? And so then you get more sex. Like, I think that's what that's what I think happens.
The older I get, the more I realize, like, there are going to be times in your life when you're with somebody where y'all are actually planning sex, like, come over because I want some. But I think the older I get, the more I realize those moments where the sex is not planned, but it just organically happens, it's better that way. So I think that if a person can sit there, if we plan on a Friday night to come over after work, take showers, get in our little pajamas, whatever, and, pop some popcorn or whatever, and watch this movie, well, that's what you have requested for us to do, then I'm going to try to accommodate as much as possible, make sure we watch the movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then 9 times out of 10, that is gonna end up that way anyway, right? After the movie is done or whatnot.
You're gonna be smacking bellies later on anyway. So just watch the movie.
Bellies. Smacking bellies, that's what you're gonna say. It's the bellies that gets okay.
Yeah, okay, smack a little bit sometimes,
For my guests, please comment below and let me know. I want to hear from you. Let me know how you feel about all of that was just, discussed. How do you feel about just watching the whole movie? What does that mean to you? Just let me know what you think.
See that comment right there? This comment right here, somebody says, I think it's TL Brown. She says, it would be good to have a man say, nah, let's just cuddle and watch the movie. Yeah, that would be more of an interest to move forward. You know what I'm saying? But I think, and I talked about this on my podcast too before, like, most men are going to, like, pause themselves before they even make that comment. Like, he may really be interested in the movie. You know what I'm saying? But, like, when she rub on him, he feel like, well, I got to just give her some now and then go back and watch the movie. Because if I tell her I want to just chill and watch the movie, a lot of these, do you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
A lot of these negative, things are, brought into play. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like, men might be like, his sexuality might be questioned. Is he messing with somebody else might be questioned. Like, all these negative connotations are associated with it, but he just wants to watch the movie.
He just wants to watch the movie. That's an interesting topic that you're bringing up because I never thought about it, from that point of view, right? Like, about how the man would be perceived if he truly just wanted to watch the movie and not wanted to have sex, right? Ladies, tell me how you would feel about that if it was reversed. If y'all are watching movies or a movie and you want to, would you say slap bellies? But he wants to actually watch the movie. How would you feel about that? Would you feel like he is dissing you? Would you feel like he, like he's seeing somebody else? Like, how would that make you feel? Please comment below and let me know. That's a very interesting perspective. I like that. And then also let me know how y'all like to receive affection as well, because I want to hear from y'all. So let me see. Levels Lifestyle Entertainment says being able to hold out is while watching a movie is self-control. I think I'm reading that right? So
Yep.
being able to hold out while watching a movie is self-control. It is self-control. Listen, you're gonna be 9 times out of 10 if y'all are connected in that way and it's already happened and y'all have skin in the game. 9 times out of 10 it's going to happen after the movies anyway, right?
Oh, you gotta act like you've been there before though. Act like you've been there
Yeah,
before, whether it's the
yeah,
first time with this woman or the
or not.
20th time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you gotta act like you've been there before. Like make it. I think it's very important to let it be known and to show that there's more even to yourself than just the physical aspect.
right,
And so like
right.
you're building you're strengthening a bond and building you know what I'm saying, like a closer connection to this other person by engaging in something, a different form of intimacy besides the physical.
There you go. And that's what I was saying. Like that form of intimacy for me carries more weight than physical intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it just means so much more, especially when I really like to do, right? It
Right.
means so much more to know that he just does it every time we get together. It's not just about that, right?
Right.
We can do other things that matter, and that I mean, that just makes me more into him, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so let's talk about cuddling, because there's some people that are like, it's hot.
Right.
I don't want to cuddle. It's hot. How I know you. So based upon this conversation, you really like to cuddle,
Mm-hmm.
or you really like affection. So how do you feel? I mean, big spoon, little spoon. Let's talk about it. Where you at with
Yeah,
it?
yeah. So, little spoon, I'm more of a big spooner. Now, I'm not going. I will say this. Like, I think it's just like the man in me. Like, I like to hold my lady. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So, like, I don't like in relationships. I've definitely been the guy where if I wake up in the middle of the night and realize I'm not holding her, I'll probably roll over and hold her again.
okay.
Um, I've struggled honestly with the whole like after sex thing. Like, don't touch me, I'm hot. I'll give you a few minutes to
Mm,
cool off, but at some point, I'm that touch. Like, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
It's one of my highest love languages, like physical touch. Like, I just want to be able to like hold you. Again, it's another form of intimacy that might mean more than what we just did. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think
Yeah.
that's, again, for me, it's a big, big deal. We got to be able to have those moments of cuddling, like for real. You know what I'm saying? Got to have that for real.
Like, so again, comment below on whether you're a cuddler or not, y'all. But yeah, there are people that are like, yeah, like you said, it's hot. I don't want to cuddle. No, y'all have air conditioning, don't you? Like, you got
Right?
a fan, right? Like, turn on AC, turn on the fan, and we gonna cuddle. Like, I'm a cuddler. We're gonna
Right.
cuddle whether we're watching a movie on the couch, whether we're laying in the bed. We are going to cuddle. I am going to find my way up under you, right?
Yeah.
Especially if I'm feeling you like that. So again, this is reserved for the man that I'm feeling like that,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. The one you're trying to spend time with, for sure.
Right, the one I'm spending most of my time, like that's reserved for him. So absolutely, I need him to put his arm around me, to hold me, to cuddle me, and I most of the time, like you said, the man is big spoon, I'm little spoon, right? Most of the time. Um, and it is just something about a man putting his arms around you and holding you. I don't know. If it's a dude, again, if it's a dude that I like that, to me, it makes me feel safe and protected.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there's nothing going on for me to, it just
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel like, okay, he's right there. It puts me in safe mode. It's a safe place.
Yeah, if I say his arms become your safe place. I think a lot of times too. I just had to start right now when you were talking. I'm gonna say it like in the most PG way. Like a lot of women, you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes they want to be like aggressively, aggressive pleasure, and then they may want like the soft, sensual, like made love type pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of times, like women only receive the aggressive pleasure from the men. A lot of men don't necessarily know how to do the other thing because of things, past experiences, and so forth. But if
Mm-hmm.
a woman doesn't allow the man to cuddle and hold her afterwards, or he, or doesn't require it even, then that man is never going to be able to combine the two. A lot of times people have to understand, like, in order to like receive that love and that you want to feel, you have to do all the other things that surround that. Like
Yeah.
so many people try to just correlate love with like amazing sex, but there's so many other ways, like we said, of being intimate. The cuddling, the affection, the long conversations, the moments where you can let a person be vulnerable and receive and so forth. Like
Uh,
all those things add to the mind blowing experience that comes with the physical. But if those other parts aren't catered to, then you're just gonna have like that aggressive F type feeling when it comes to the sex. And at some point, like you might get like, you know, immune to that where it's like, this ain't doing nothing for me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I mean, great, absolutely great points, you know, and you're absolutely right. It's the totality of everything, you know, that makes that intimacy. Again, physical and non-physical, right?
Right.
And I think that that's what we're missing. A lot of times you know, it's just trying to go straight from A to Z, right? And we're missing everything in between. And that everything in between is important, if not just as important as A and or Z, right?
Right.
And like you said that, so let's talk about vibes, because you were talking about a connection, you were talking about a bond, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about vibes and having that connection with somebody, because I'm going to admittedly, let me just be 100% on here, like I always am. It hasn't been until I've gotten older that I've really been in tune with that connection and having a vibe with somebody, right? And like what that truly means. And I'm not talking about just a little, like, oh, I like them a little bit, I get a little feeling, right? But like a whole vibe, like we can talk about whatever, we can spend time and it not be a physical thing all the time. We can kick it outside, inside. I mean, the entire vibe and the entire connection is there. Let's talk about that, because that's something that I'm very, very much in tune with now at
Mm-hmm.
42 than I was at, say, maybe in my 30s, right?
Right.
How do you feel about that? Where do you stand on that?
Like vibes and stuff like that.
Yeah, vibe and that connection, just having that connection with somebody.
So like there's a phrase, or I didn't say a phrase, it's a word people throw around a lot. My podcast mate that was at every episode, sapiosexual. And you know, it's basically like being like, you know, you get the stimulation or turned on by having those, you know, mental stimulation. And so for me, that's kind of where it starts for me. I've
Mm-hmm.
met a lot of women in my life who were just like physically fine, like
Mm-hmm.
cheese and rice, like, but in having conversation with her, like realized that her conversation was very vanilla, very plain. Like I
Right.
knew she would never be able to like take me to a deeper place or challenge me
Right.
or help me get out, you know what I'm saying, a different way of thinking. So like it turned me off. You know what I'm saying? And like for me, like if I don't have like that mental connection with, if I can't
Yeah.
stimulate your mind, and this is not just me saying this, I mean this like wholeheartedly. If me, Daniel, if I can't stimulate your mind, I don't really have any interest in stimulating your body. Because I
Right.
feel like for me, like I'm saying, being a father, you know what I'm saying, you know, being married already one time, like those experiences have kind of molded together like what Daniel needs. And I know, you know, the physical part is easy. I know I can
Yeah.
stimulate your body, but I
Yeah.
need to be able to have a challenge of being able to stimulate your mind first. If I can't do that, then we're really just wasting time. I think a
There
lot
you
of
go.
people, I think a lot of people, and I had this thought the other day, um, I think people don't realize, like, and again, this is my opinion, like before you even commit to someone, if you're not ready to be married, you shouldn't even commit. And the reason why I say that is because when you meet somebody, you start going out, the vibe, if it's there, you know, that vibe is good, the energy is good. You start hanging out more and more. Y'all start having these conversations of expectation, and then you
Mm-hmm.
commit to each other. Well, once y'all commit to each other, what's the next step? Literally
Right.
getting engaged and then getting married. So if you're
Right.
not ready for marriage, then you're wasting time just being with somebody, period. And so I think that, you know what I'm saying, that vibe, that energy, like you gotta really like pay attention to it. And a lot of times as humans we ignore stuff just because how they look. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
said like the looks really come and go. I really couldn't care less about how big your booty is or anything else of the sort. Like if we don't have like this organic, genuine, natural energy that we can
Yes.
like off each other, then I ain't got
Right.
time. I'm gonna move around.
And that like you said, that organic, genuine connection, that has to be, meaning it's not forced, right?
Right. It has
So
to
it
be
can't
very just
be,
yeah.
yeah, it has to be where I can kick it with you and we can kick it all day, right? And it's just this natural flow of things, whether or not I've met you 2, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago, right? It's just this genuine, natural flow of things. We can talk to each other very easily, or we can just sometimes it's okay not to even talk, right? Like when we're sitting in silence, it's not an awkward silence. We're sitting in silence or watching a movie, or we're just chilling, or he's working, I'm on my phone, things of that nature. That's that natural flow. And
Right.
it has to be genuine and it has to be organic. And if it's forced, that's a no for me.
Yeah.
If you can't mentally stimulate me, that's a no for me. If I can't mentally stimulate you, that's a no for me,
Right.
right? And that's when I talk about the energy and the connection and the vibe and all of that. That's what I mean. And those are far and few in between is what I'm finding, right?
Yeah.
Now that I'm in tune with exactly what it is, it doesn't come often.
Yeah.
And when it does come, it's amazing, right? Now only if all of those worked out.
Right.
But they don't, right? So no, that's very, very good points on that vibe and connection on that and that natural flow of things. I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that. Let's talk about, you brought up a subject about rough sex and then passionate sex, I guess, right?
Right. Yeah.
Let's dig into that a little bit more. Because there is a difference.
Right.
And I don't, and some men that I found have been kind of hesitant on the passionate side of things. Um, where do you stand on that?
So I'll be totally frank. This is how I look at it. I think that enough people don't realize that. So for men, most men in this world, if we're thinking about it, most men are introduced to sex through porn.
Okay.
And so when men are growing up, they get curious with their body. They start watching porn. And you think about porn, there is no romance, there is no
Yeah. No.
sensual. It's just like, hey, your plumbing is bad, and then it's just some kind of skit, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
they just banging each other's brains out. Like that's where
Right.
men learn sex. That's where men learn
Okay.
positions. That's where men learn how these things work. And so
Okay.
then after that, when they meet these women, they're trying to do what they seen on these movies and videos to the women. So they're not even learning the sensual side. So like a lot of women that I've met in my life, they almost require a man to just like give them the aggressive screw. Like they don't want the soft sensual because they've never been introduced to it. Because the men
Okay.
they've been with have only given them one way. So I think when it comes to like sex, I've always had this mindset. You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Cool.
you.
I think it's very important that there's not a lesson at first, but more so letting a person show you what they are capable of. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times a man might have a secret move or a secret way that he wants to do, or a woman might have something that she knows is gonna be very pleasurable to the man. But we never get to share that or show that because the person's telling you do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that there's never like a moment where we can like just be natural again and like just organically get to a point where we can have a balance of both, or you may want more or be introduced to one or the other because you're just letting this you're giving instructions instead of letting somebody teach you.
And I think when it comes to that topic, it's very important that you learn each other,
Hmm.
right? Like I think the art of learning each other is lost nowadays, right? And the art of actually putting forth the effort to learn each other. So I think learning what your partner desires, what they like, what they don't like, I think that should be part of the process, and that should be part of you know, every encounter until you know what the person likes, right?
Right, for sure.
And I just think I don't think people take a lot of time to do that nowadays. Like you said, they just want to go on with the tricks and
Yeah.
what they know and what they and whatever the last person like doesn't necessarily, this is a new person, right?
Hmm.
So it doesn't mean that whatever the last person like is going to work on a new person. You have
Right.
to now learn the new person.
Yeah. And
um
be willing to receive. I think again, like be willing to receive what this other person may like. But I also feel like on the other hand, we have to also not be so quick to just tell the person what we like. Like let this person introduce, because again, for example, if a woman's been married for 12 years and she's been with this one man, had all her kids with this one man, and then they split for whatever reason, God forbid. And she moves on 5 years later, meets this new man. Well, all she's known really is this other man for 12 years. You know what I'm saying?
And how
She
he
wants,
did things, right?
and what he did. She needs to be willing to let this new man show her what he's capable of before she just says, do it like this, like this, like this, like this.
I agree with that as well. I agree that there has to be a common ground. There has to be a middle ground, right?
Sure.
Where you're allowing yourself to be open and vulnerable to new experiences, but also where the other person is in tune or is putting forth the effort to try to understand you and what you like as well, right?
Sure.
So let me see. So Levels Lifestyle Entertainment says women be like beans and rice, but have no idea how to feed your soul. Okay. Beans and rice, huh?
I saw that comment earlier. I didn't really understand it. But I mean, it sounds deep. It sounds like Hallmark mahogany.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it. Joseph says no cap, bro. Porn will distort a man's brain. Precious Delights Canada says communication and transparency. No, you're absolutely right. Communication is a big thing that's missing in a lot of our in a lot of our relationships today. So Daniel, let's say you meet a woman, y'all have everything that we've talked about. You have the non-physical intimacy, you have communication, you have affection, you have all the things, right? What I'm curious about is how long would you say you would need to be dating a woman before you decide, okay, we can get out of this talking stage or this dating stage, right? And actually enter into a relationship.
So you mean like
give or take? Like, I know it's hard to.
Are you saying like typically how long would I talk to a woman before we commit to each other and become an official couple?
An official couple.
So I don't. Unpopular opinion. I don't believe in timelines.
Okay.
At all. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you spoke on vibes earlier, you know, organic energy. Like usually when two people feel it's right, then you just kind of, you know, it's right. I think, you know, a lot of times I wouldn't say there's a such thing as like moving too fast. I just feel like because when you meet somebody, you don't tell yourself like, I want to fall in love with this person or I want to be with this person. You just meet this person and then you're attracted to them physically and then you decide to give them your time and get to know them. If you fail in 3 weeks, like, I can see myself being with this person. You want to commit, then commit. You know what I'm saying? We have one life to live. We don't really have time to waste.
Yeah.
I know some people who, you know what I'm saying, talk to somebody for a year and a half and they just been talking and doing everything that people do in relationships, but they ain't committing. Like, and I've always said this too, like, don't get mad at me, fellas, but I've always said this. If a woman is giving a man everything that, you know, she would give a man in a relationship, without making him commit to her, then why would he ever commit? You know what I'm saying? If I'm getting everything I would get if I was your man anyway already, without committing to you, then why would I be in the rush to commit? And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, man, if you giving a woman everything without requiring her to commit to you, then why would she commit? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go to McDonald's and they giving out free fries, well, I'm gonna pay. I ain't finna offer you no money. Y'all giving out free fries.
Right. So, and I like that point that you made about not having a timeline. And the reason I like that is because, you know, I've spoken to men who will talk, you know, would admittedly have a good connection, vibes and everything with a woman, right? And then will still not commit 3-4 months in because they don't know her. And I'm like, but y'all are spending pretty much all your time together, right? So at this point, I don't feel like you'll ever really get to know somebody, right? Like, that's just not going to be a thing that happens. And so I like that you said that if it's 3 weeks and it feels right, then to hell with it, right?
Right.
Go on and be in a relationship. You know, it doesn't have to be like, I got to talk to this girl for 6 solid months. And, you know, and then maybe, you know, it'll be the right time. I like that.
Yeah, this is our story.
Do
We don't have to be
you
like
feel the
everybody
same
else.
way about,
I said this is our story we're creating. We don't have to be like everybody else. So if we feel mutually that this is what we want to do, then we do it.
Then we do it. That's right. Precious Delights Canada says timelines can add pressure and kill a relationship before it even starts.
For sure.
It can, but I'm also not a fan of dragging out things way past its expiration, right? Like I don't feel like, I feel like if you, like you said, a year and a half of talking,
Yeah, that's
that
crazy.
to me that's a lot. That's too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that I can be with a man for no, not that I don't know. I won't talk to a man for a year and a half, and you still don't know if you even want to be in a relationship with me at that
Yes.
point, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like you know when you know, and that you know when you know doesn't take that long to get to that point. That's my personal
Right.
process. Okay, so then I'm assuming, is it safe to assume you feel the same way about marriage?
And as far as like, when do I get married?
Timeline, the timeline, like you feel like there is no timeline for marriage?
Yeah. So I feel the same way when it comes to marriage. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Your video is paused, but I can hear you. And then I can't hear you. No. Okay. Well, let me read some comments while you get back on. So, one man in the grill says, to be honest, we know what we want. I know y'all know what y'all want. And that's the crazy thing about it. And I feel like y'all know what y'all want early. Like it doesn't take that long for you guys to know what you want. Uh-oh. So he dropped off, guys. Hopefully he'll get back on. But it doesn't take that long for you guys to know what you want. And I'm a firm believer of that. And I feel that the same thing goes for women, right? If a woman's stringing you along, same thing, y'all. We know what we want. I mean, if you're a productive, full-blown adult, you know what you want. And it doesn't take a year and a half. It doesn't take, I would even say it doesn't take 90 days, right? Especially if you're one-on-one. And hold on, let me bring it back on. Especially if you're one-on-one on a regular basis, you know that this man, there you go.
I
Hey
don't know what
Daniel, can
happened.
you hear me?
You have an
Okay.
Android? You have an Android?
No, I have an
Okay. I
iPhone.
don't know. Might be a U phone. Might be a
Don't
U
come for
phone.
me.
Nah. No. But no. You were asking me how, like, I feel something about the timeline when it comes to marriage. Um, I'm actually the exact same way, and it's, you know what I'm saying, not to get so deep, but like, I feel like, if you're a Christian person and you believe in that, like, God loved us all immediately. So who are we to tell somebody else how long it took you to love somebody? So for me, like, if you are with this person, um, you feel like this is the person you want to spend your life with. They
Yeah.
are mutually into, wanting to spend life with you, and you want to be with this person. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying? I know. Let me tell you a story real fast.
Okay.
There's this woman I know. She lives in Plano now, but when I met her, a friend of mine, she lived in Waco. And one night she was like, "Do you want to know how I
Okay.
ended up living?" First met in Austin. She grew up in Austin. And I was like, "Yeah, how'd you end up in Waco?" And she said,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we lost him again, y'all. He's in a bad area. Okay. So Viola says, don't waste my time. Absolutely. At this time and age, I don't have time to waste. I don't have time to waste, and I don't have games to play, right? So absolutely don't waste my time. Come in, know what you want, be healed, right? And at the very least, be willing to heal. And know what you want, know what you desire. Don't play around, don't play games. And what I'm finding out here, y'all, again, in these murky dating streets, is that there's a lot of games being played, and a lot of just a lot of bullshit, just to be completely honest, just a lot of BS out there. Stephanie says it doesn't take long. You sure right about that, Stephanie. It sure does not take long. And Peeling Off the Layers podcast says, when you know, you know. You do. And it can, like he said, it can take 3 weeks. It can maybe take a little bit more than that. But I highly doubt it takes a year and a half. That ain't gonna rock with me, y'all. Hold on. He's back on. And then Levels Lifestyle Entertainment says, men always know way faster than women. I agree with that. They do know way faster than women what they want. So it's just a matter of you slow rolling me. Why are you slow rolling me? And it could be what Daniel said. He could be getting everything that he would get anyway without a relationship. So why commit? Daniel, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking at you because your phone kicked me off twice. Nah, it's cool. It might be mine. I don't even know. Let me not blame
No,
you.
it's yours. I'm rolling here. I'm rolling.
I have an iPhone. You must have a U phone. But anyway, listen.
You got oh Lord.
Nah.
Okay,
So
got jokes.
the story I was saying is, so she lived in Austin. She said one night her mom told her and her siblings, "Hey, y'all get dressed. We're going to church." It was like a random Wednesday night, going to church.
Mm-hmm.
They went to church. After church was like 9 o'clock. She said that they went to her grandmother's house, and her mom was like, "Mom, can you watch the kids? I'm going on a date real quick." And her mom was like, "Where are you going on a date at 9 o'clock?" And she's like, "I'll be back." She said, one of the preachers who talked tonight wants to take me to get some coffee and just have conversation. I said, "I'm gonna go." So she left. She said, the woman told me, she said 2 hours later, her mama came back to the house and told her and her siblings and their grandmother that they were moving to Waco because her and that minister were getting married. And she said they had an amazing conversation, talked about everything. They felt it. He asked her to marry him. She said yes. They moved to Waco. She said they've been married 30 some odd years.
Oh wow.
From that
I
moment.
love that.
Right. So when I heard that story, I was like, whoa, like that's like a Lifetime movie, like The Pastor Who Made Me Do It. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying whatever. But like
2 hours.
right.
2 hours.
2 hours. But like they've been married ever since. So again, when you know, like somebody said earlier, when you know, like
Yeah.
you know it. And the other thing what I learned the hard way is like what's for you is for you. Everybody else don't understand because it's not for them.
Yeah. Yeah. And it ain't nobody else's business. They don't have to understand. This is your relationship, y'all's relationship, you know?
Mm-hmm.
One man and a girl says a lot of people are broken and master pain in multiple relationships. Yeah. Or even master pain in inconsistency. You know, there's a lot of inconsistency out here. And that's unfortunate. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate. So, okay. Well, listen, I love this discussion, y'all, and I'm sure we can go on all night with this, okay? But I am going to please, okay, so wait first. Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
your Instagram handle is on here.
Yeah.
But do you want to share with the people how they can get into, how they can follow you? What's your Instagram handle?
Yeah. So my Instagram handle is what you see here, d.jones mic'd up. D is in Daniel, period. Then my last name Jones, Jones, MICD is in Daniel up, UP mic'd up. You can also catch us every Sunday and Wednesday on my podcast right here, If This Mic Could Talk. Me and another gentleman, we have guests every episode. Good fun, good energy. Great conversation pieces, but we also have a lot of comic relief because we're both very goofy guys. But it's definitely a treat. If you want to see some of our past episodes, you can definitely go on YouTube and just type in "If This Mic Could Talk," and they're all right there. So definitely a
And
treat
it's
for
a
you.
dope
But
podcast, y'all. It's a dope podcast.
yeah.
Definitely check their podcast out on YouTube. If this mic could talk. And is there anything else that you have going on?
Yeah, man, that's really it. I mean,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, just working, podcasting, you know what I'm saying, being the best version of myself every day. I really hate that phrase, living your best life, because you only got one life to live. You should be living the best life every day. But
Every day.
um,
Tell the
right, you
people
know
a
what I'm saying?
word. Leave
I'm
the
saying
people with a word. Y'all need to start cash apping him for the tithes, y'all.
you know
Y'all
what I'm
need to
saying?
send him some tithes. Y'all make sure that y'all follow me on YouTube, Reality TV. The link is up above. Viola, if you still on here, can you drop it again? If not, y'all, it's Reality TV, BRIALITY TV. I almost forgot how to spell it. So it's Reality TV. And then make sure you follow me. It's a _lawyer. Follow me. And y'all, John says, hey, can you save this live so we can watch it later? Watch it on YouTube. Y'all can watch this on YouTube. Thank you, Viola. So there's the link. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. I need 20 of y'all to show me some love today, okay? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out If This Mic Could Talk. And then, of course, we'll do this every week, y'all. So next Thursday, I'll be back, all right? Thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. Bye. Thank you, Daniel. You were amazing.
No problem. No problem. Big ups to all my haters.
Bye. You and your U phone. Bye.
Nah, that's you, the Android.
Bye.